Numbers 31. Campaign against Midianites. The Lord said to Moses, "Avenge the Israelites on the Midianites. Then you will be gathered to your people." So Moses told the people, "Arm some men among you for the campaign, to attack Midian and to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian. From each of the tribes of Israel you will send 1,000 men to the campaign. From the contingents of Israel, therefore, 1,000 men of each tribe were levied, so that there were 12,000 men armed for war. Moses sent them out on a campaign, 1,000 from each tribe, with the Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest for the campaign, who had with him a sacred vessel and the trumpet for sounding the alarm. They waged war against the Midianites, as the Lord had commanded Moses, and killed every male. Besides those slain in battle, they killed the kings of Midian, Evi, Rakim, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. They also killed Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. But the Israelites took captive the women of the Midianites with their children, and all their herds and flocks and wealth as loot. While they set on fire all the towns where they had settled, and all their encampments. Then they took all the plunder with the people and animals they had captured, and brought the captives together with the spoils and plunder to Moses and Eleazar the priest, and to the Israelite community at their camp on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Treatment of the captives. When Moses and Eleazar the priest, with all the leaders and the community, went outside the camp to meet them, Moses became angry with the officers of the army and commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds who were returning from the military campaign. "So you have spared all the women," he exclaimed. "These are the very ones who on Balaam's advice were behind the Israelites' unfaithfulness to the Lord in the affair at Peor." So that plague struck the Lord's community. "Now kill therefore every male among the children, and kill every woman who has sexual relations with a man. But you may spare for yourselves all the girls who have not had sexual relations." Purification after combat. Moreover, remains outside the camp for 7 days. Every one of you who has killed anyone or touched someone killed will purify yourselves on the 3rd and on the 7th day, both you and your captives. You will also purify every garment, every article of leather, everything made of goat's hair, and every article of wood. Eleazar the priest told the soldiers who had taken part in the battle, "This is the prescribed ritual which the Lord has commanded Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, and lead, whatever can stand fire, you shall put into the fire, that it may become clean. However, it must also be purified with water, the water of purification. Put into the water. On the 7th day you will wash your garments, and then you will again be clean. After that you may enter the camp." Division of the spoils. The Lord said to Moses, "With the help of Eleazar the priest and the heads of the ancestral houses of the community, inventory all the spoils captured, human beings and beasts alike. Then divide the spoils between the warriors who went on the campaign and the whole community. You will levy a tax for the Lord on the soldiers who went on the campaign. 1 out of every 500 persons, oxen, donkeys, and sheep. From their half you will take it and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to the Lord. From the Israelites half you will take 1 captive from every 50 human beings, oxen, donkeys, sheep, and animals, and give them to the Levites who perform the duties of the Lord's tabernacle." So Moses and Eleazar the priest did this, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Amount of plunder. The plunder, what was left on the loot which the troops had taken, amounted to 675,000 sheep, 72,000 oxen, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 women who had not had sexual relations. The half share that fell to those who had gone out on the campaign was numbered 337,500 sheep, of which 675 fell as tax to the Lord, 36,000 oxen, which 72 fell as tax to the Lord, 30,500 donkeys, of which 61 fell as tax to the Lord, and 16,000 persons, of whom 32 persons fell as tax to the Lord. Moses gave taxes contributed to the Lord Eleazar the priest, exactly as the Lord had commanded. As for the Israelites, half which Moses had taken from the men who had fought, and the community, half was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 oxen, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. From the Israelite half, Moses took one captive from every 50. From human beings and beasts alike, he gave them to the Levites, who performed the duties of the Lord's tabernacle exactly as the Lord commanded. Then those who were officers were the contingents of army, commanders of thousands, and commanders of hundreds, came up to Moses and said to him, "Your servants have counted the soldiers under the command, and not one of us is missing. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord articles of gold that each of us has picked up, anklets, bracelets, rings, earrings, and pendants, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord." Moses and Eleazar the priest accepted the gold from them, all fashioned pieces, the gold that was given as a contribution to the Lord from the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, amounted in all to 16,750 shekels. What the common soldiers had looted, each one kept for himself. So Moses and Eleazar the priest accepted the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and put it in the tent of meeting as a reminder on behalf of the Israelites before the Lord.